Hey, Walking Dead fans, welcome back to the channel. Let's do a little theory and prediction stuff for Season 10B. It should go without saying, but I'm going to go ahead and say spoiler alert if you're not caught up to The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead and some of the stuff like we've been talking about as far as theories and things like that. Just spoiler alert. So in this discussion, we're going to talk about Michonne leaving a little bit and the photos, some still frames taken from the trailer of Season 10B. And then we're going to also look a little bit at Morgan and the end of Fear the Walking Dead last season and talk about some theories about how he could survive and how it might all tie in together somehow. As we first take a look at Michonne and her leaving, as you notice in that photo that was released by TV Line, she's in her orange shirt. She's got blood on it. They've obviously fought some walkers or something. Virgil's still looking for his family, so he says. Do they find them? Some people said this is a boat. I think it's a building. But either way, I think they make it to the island on their sailboat, which, of course, was powered by a sail and not fuel. And as I said again, Michonne is in her orange shirt at this point. I think they're looking around the base once they got to the island. But from the 10B previews or trailer, we see this larger boat that Michonne's on. You can kind of see her on it there, but it does go to a close-up. And we see her, and she's looking off in the distance, and we don't see Virgil. We don't see Virgil in the wide shot, the close-up shot. And then we see Michonne again. As you can see right here, she's in a black shirt at this point, and she does have her katana on. She didn't have it on, or it didn't look like she had it on in the previous photo when she was in her orange shirt. But she also has this rain cape kind of thing over her as well. And then we fast forward to these couple of walkers walking through the woods, looks like. Michonne comes up behind them. She's still in her black shirt and that rain cape. From the looks of it, she is hacking up some walkers. Not sure if that's the exact moment she takes the ones and puts them on a chain. But as we see here, she's got her hood up. She's got chains. Looks like walkers, just like the old days, like when we met Michonne back in the day when Andrea met her out in the woods. She's got her hood on. She's got a couple of walkers chained up. Using them as a scent repellent kind of thing. But again, black shirt, no Virgil. Here's my theory on this is that they get to the base, something's went down. Maybe they do find Virgil's family. Maybe there are a few people, or I don't know. I just think maybe Michonne, whatever they find, it leads Michonne further down a path, either toward Rick or something going on. And she maybe does send Virgil back to the communities. Maybe there are a few weapons. Maybe Virgil actually even finds his family and Michonne sends Virgil and his family back to the community. But something is going to keep her, I think, from returning. And it seems to me like, if they were in the sailboat, they had to get to the island, I would say, to get this larger boat possibly, right? Well, it runs on fuel. It doesn't run on a sail. It has to have some fuel, I would think. So they're going up, upriver possibly, or up the coast or something, leading to what possibly could be Michonne going into the movies. And one of the questions in this is, does Virgil go to the movies as well, or does he stay in the TV show? I personally think that the actor was not cast as a little short-term, 2 or 3 episodes in the end of season 10 or around season 10 to be able to just use him as something to propel Michonne's exit. I actually do think Virgil will stay in the show, at least for a little while, and possibly even join Oceanside or the community like Alexandria or something like that, because Michonne sends him back. Thus, I think Virgil will live and rejoin the communities possibly. And if you do happen to be a new listener coming to the channel, this is a discussion channel. I throw out a lot of ideas and theories in some videos, and we just kind of discuss it a little bit farther down in the comments. And this is kind of one of those videos. I'm throwing out some theories here, some predictions, and then we continue the story down in the comments. So feel free to do so. There's a bunch of theories about Virgil, about Michonne. Some people think Virgil may be like a Jadis and is trading people and trades Michonne. And he actually, I don't know, does he go back to the communities and try to fit in so he can trade some more people? What's his story if that's the case? So I'm kind of not leaning toward that, where he is like a Jadis. I think he's... I'm kind of leaning as far as Virgil is that he escaped the helicopter group people. But I know some of you guys don't like that theory as well. So there's just a bunch to talk about Michonne and our possibilities, especially with the black shirt, the bigger ship. Where are they going? Where's Virgil? Did she send him back? What is the thing that makes her actually leave? Is it Rick? Does she find out about Rick? I think it almost has to be, and that is thus what propels and leads her to go into the movies. Okay, now I'm going to throw out some stuff. Let's throw out Morgan, and I'm going to throw in some other little snippets of ideas and things to see. I don't really know if or how they all fit together, or if they even do. But I want to throw them out there at you guys and see what you think and what little pieces may tie in together. So one thing that we have seen in Fear the Walking Dead is the guy Wes, who was painting on stuff, and now Alicia has joined in, and they're kind of, probably going to be a couple, could be a couple, whatever. So Wes paints on stuff, and white paint is a big signature color of his. And we know that Fear the Walking Dead is still around 7-ish, maybe years behind The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead had a 6-year time jump after Rick left. But right before that, the bridge, we did see Wes, that's the guy's name, white paint, and a heart that says loves. I'm not sure this is a tie-in. It is the same thing. I mean, you could almost say it almost has to be some kind of little Easter egg. Is it coincidence? I wouldn't think so. But what does it mean? And did Wes pass through there prior to getting to Texas? Or has he not made it there yet? And he's going to end up somewhere around Washington, D.C. to paint on this bridge after where we see him in Fear the Walking Dead right now. And does that somehow tie into anything as far as the two shows coming together, which my theory is that's not going to happen. And so does that play into anything? Some of the characters crossing over, something like that. Some of the characters leaving, Michonne, Rick, the helicopter group. Does that tie in somehow? We've got the book that Virgil had in his backpack that Judith was looking at. The World Before is the title, and it's a map. She was looking at the southeastern corner of the United States, a map. So does that somehow tie into anything? And we got Isabel also, in the helicopter, or at least the helicopter group. And we've got Morgan about to die. Does he die? How is he saved? I mean, every single character was taken away that could help him. They're taken away in vehicles. Could it be the couple of Native American guys from season 3? Could it be Proctor John and his group coming back? The light up over the church, if you can see right here, the light that's kind of shining up behind the church roof there. Could that be a helicopter coming? Could it be the helicopter group? Everybody else did drive off. So if a helicopter flew up, they're kind of maybe on down the road and didn't see it. But, as far as that finale show of Fear the Walking Dead, our evil villain lady said to Al, oh, and speaking of truth, I need you to tell me all about that helicopter that you said you saw. So as far as Fear the Walking Dead coming back next season, that'll be interesting to see, I guess, how all that plays out. And as much as I don't think the showrunners of Fear the Walking Dead have done a good job, I really don't like that show. But, you have to include it in the universe. The helicopter's been in Fear the Walking Dead. There's these tie-ins that's going to happen. So you got to pay attention to it as far as me doing the channel and stuff, to try to figure stuff out. And something the showrunners did say, though, is that you guys are going to watch this and you're going to get to the end of season 5 and say, and as you get into season 6, you're going to go, oh, it all makes sense. And it had to happen that way for us to get to this point. Could the showrunners have meant that Morgan is then going to cross over into the movies? So that's why it all had to work out like it worked out. And all the other characters had to be taken away into this other land, this other, where they're going is somewhere else. Just like the evil villain lady, I like to call her, said, they've got a long drive ahead of them. So Morgan has been left behind. Every single other character, the bad guys and the good guys, are all together heading off in another direction far away. So Morgan's all by himself. It leads to another adventure. It pretty much has to, right? My prediction is that adventure, however it happens, leads to the movies, maybe, That's my prediction. That's my theory. But to the theory that the key lady, her name being Virginia, Jeannie for short, that they're a part of the helicopter group or becomes the helicopter group. We've already seen the helicopter, so they don't become the helicopter group. That group's already established. Do they have any type of tie-in? Jeannie did say to Al, tell me all about that helicopter. Speaking of truth, because Al said something about truth just before that. So does Jeannie and her group have any ties to the helicopter group? And does she actually already know about them and just wants to see what Al knows about them? Or does she actually don't know about them and wants to see what Al knows about it? Could this Jeannie chick be like a Jadis and trades people to the helicopter group? Could that be something that's going on with Jenny and her group? We do know Jenny was definitely trying to kill Morgan. Why she didn't finish him off for good, she just thought the walkers would take care of him, I guess. But she did try to shoot him in the face, but that pistol backfired. And so, I think she really did want him to die. She even said as she walked off, I really hope you die. But it's hard to imagine how he gets out of it. In helicopter, maybe. I don't know. How do you guys think that Morgan will escape death? Because he says he doesn't die, but we'll see. We got Michonne. We got Morgan. Do they cross over into the movies after these particular seasons? After Fear 5, surely in Fear 6, we'll see Morgan and see what happens to him. And we should, in season 10B of The Walking Dead, see kind of what happens to Michonne and get her exit story as well. Just theories everywhere. Just throw yours down there. Anything you thought about, anything I said in the video, any new thoughts, any old thoughts, repeated thoughts, it all happens in the comments. So I'll see you there. As always, guys, thanks for watching and stay tuned for more dead stuff.